Hi, welcome back to One Piece Nerd. If in chapter 1079 Shanks took all the spotlight, then in chapter 1080 this week, Oda brought the opposing force, the Marines, to the stage with a display beyond words, through Garp's Galaxy Impact Punch. Although Luffy's grandpa may seem old, this old is still strong. He can still go all out against the younger generation. Today, let's sit down together to analyze the terrifying power that Vice Admiral Garp possesses in this video. Galaxy Impact, decoding the power of marine hero Garp. According to Garp's words in chapter 588, the pirate king Gol D Roger was called a demon by the world, and Garp himself was also seen as a demon in the eyes of pirates. This was confirmed by the defeated Don Chinchao in chapter 708. Indeed, after what both of them achieved, they deserved the titles given to them, for they possess power enough to shake the entire world. Previously, we only knew about Garp's strength through stories. But over time, the stories have become clearer and have shown that he is one of the strongest individuals of his era. It's no coincidence that Garp is respected and given the title Hero of the Marines. His punches are not just a nightmare for his grandson, but also strike fear into any pirate who dares to face him. He's a living legend and one of the strongest Marines. People of this era know Garp as the Marine who relentlessly chased the Pirate King Roger across the world, but there's much more behind that. Garp is one of the few who could fight on equal terms with Roger, showing how formidable Luffy's grandfather truly is. Through Oden's flashback, One Piece fans already understand how powerful Roger was. Only Whitebeard, the sole pirate, was able to match him equally. As for the Marines, up to now, Garp is the only one who has ever pushed the Pirate King to the brink of death. Roger himself admitted this before his execution in chapter 550. How many times have we almost killed each other? Now, we're just like two old friends, right? Like Whitebeard, a hero respects another hero. Despite being on opposing sides, both Roger and Garp's strengths earned each other's admiration. They fought tirelessly in countless battles, and from enemies, they became friends, to the point that Roger entrusted his only son to Garp to raise, showing just how much Roger trusted him. Although on opposing sides, they recognized similarities in each other, leading to the unusual situation of a Marine agreeing to raise the son of a pirate, a child always associated with the blood of a demon. Roger's strength is considered the peak of One Piece, and to be able to stand against someone like him, Garp is certainly not inferior to the Pirate King. Even Kaido, a pirate with an enormous ego and pride in his own strength, still reserved the highest praise for Roger, the man who defeated his former captain. In chapter 1047, Kaido once spoke about Roger's power. Having a strong devil fruit ability is not enough to conquer the seas. Look at Roger, he didn't possess a devil fruit power, yet the entire world bowed before him. Such great obstacles could only be overcome by Haki. The importance of Haki in the New World is increasingly emphasized, especially recently. If one's Haki is strong enough, they can even counter the powers of a devil fruit. Kaido is an arrogant individual, so for him to say this proves that Roger must have been incredibly powerful. Someone with power so great that even Kaido, who possesses a mythical Zoan ability, could not reach it. What Kaido lacked to replicate Roger's past achievements was Haki, more specifically Advanced Conqueror's Haki. Kaido repeatedly mentioned during his fight with Luffy how few people could use this ability. Not only are there few users, but they also differ in proficiency. Even someone as strong as Kaido cannot compare to Roger in his prime. So just imagine how terrifying Garp's strength must be if he could push Roger to the brink of death. It would still come down to Haki, and it's no surprise that Garp likely possesses Advanced Conqueror's Haki. If he didn't, that would be shocking. Fans have long speculated that the Marine hero has it. Garp's Haki is so strong that even emperors call him Grandpa, and the most wanted criminal in the world calls him Dad. Roger wielded all three types of Haki and the Ace Sword, one of the 12 Supreme Grade blades. What would Garp need to balance that? Just two fists combined with Haki. This would be Advanced Conqueror's Haki, one of the top abilities in the world. There's no way a Marine with just high-level armament Haki and observation Haki could fight evenly and nearly kill the Pirate King. That scenario would be impossible, even in a dream. When the world's strongest pirates clash, they often split the skies. The power difference between Advanced Conqueror's Haki and high-level armament Haki is enormous. Without it, Garp couldn't possibly stand against Roger. The past battles between Luffy's grandpa and Roger were undoubtedly Advanced Conqueror's Haki clashes, as we've seen. Oda confirmed that Sengoku has Conqueror's Haki, so someone like Garp, who stood on equal footing with him in the Marines, likely has it too. Even though he was just a vice admiral, Garp was fearless, refusing promotions because he didn't want to be a puppet of the government. He openly insulted the Celestial Dragons, calling them trash, and everyone in the Marines knew how much Garp despised the upper ranks. Yet he remained a part of the Marines for many years. Could someone like him lack the qualities of a conqueror? 2 years ago at Marineford, Luffy revealed his Conqueror's Haki. While the emperors and admirals were impressed, Garp stayed seated, unfazed. I knew my grandson had it. He had known Luffy possessed it from a young age, so seeing him use it was no surprise. Even Dragon likely has this special type of Haki, and a father and grandfather like Garp would naturally have it too. And it would be no surprise if the Galaxy Impact Punch Garp unleashed in Chapter 1080 contained Advanced Conqueror's Haki, surrounded by black lightning. Much like Kaido's comments about Roger, Garp doesn't possess a devil fruit. It's his Haki that has spread his fame worldwide. As discussed in our recent analysis of Chapter 1080, there's a combination of Advanced Conqueror's Haki and a special technique from the Rokushiki. With this, Garp can unleash a punch with unimaginable destructive power. If Chapter 1079 was about the red-haired Emperor Shanks dominating the spotlight, then Chapter 1080 is all about Garp's power. Now let's explore what technique from Rokushiki the Marine hero used to combine with Advanced Conqueror's Haki in his Galaxy Impact Punch. Rokushiki consists of special techniques that aid in combat, movement, and defense. We're no strangers to these, having seen the CP9 agents use them against the Straw Hats at Eni's lobby, and later Kobe demonstrated his mastery of them.
So who taught him? Who else but Garp? Garp himself confirmed this in Chapter 1080, right before delivering his devastating punch. He's my prized student. Roku means 6, but within Rokushiki, there exists a special 7th technique called Rokuogan. So far, Lucci is the only one shown to use it. According to what Lucci mentioned in Chapter 425, only those who have mastered all the Rokushiki techniques can use this ultimate move.
This technique is executed by thrusting both fists forward towards the opponent, creating a shockwave-like attack. Garp's Galaxy Impact Punch similarly created a shockwave and caused massive destruction on Hachinosu Island. For someone who trained Kobe to master Rokushiki, it's no surprise that Garp can use Rokuogan, the ultimate technique Lucci referenced. Many pirates have experienced the terror of Garp's punches firsthand. Take Don Chinjao, for example, a pirate at his peak with a bounty of 542 million belly. But when faced with Garp, he was knocked out with just one punch, and before punching Chinjao's drill-shaped head, Luffy's grandpa had already warmed up by crushing 8 mountains. With the destructive force Garp showcased in Chapter 1080, punching 8 mountains might take him only 8 punches. If you want to know how painful Garp's punches are, just call Chinjao. He'll have a chat with you for a while. Now let's talk about Marco. While in his Phoenix form, Marco took a full punch from the Marine hero Garp. We don't know if Garp infused Haki into that punch because, at the time, Haki wasn't as clearly depicted as it was 2 years after the time skip. But we do know that Marco, a Devil Fruit user with remarkable healing abilities, still ended up bandaging his head after the battle, following the burials of Whitebeard and Ace. After everything Garp recently showcased, his comment to Sengoku during the Marineford battle is completely justified. I had enough power to kill Akainu there. When thinking of older characters in One Piece, fans usually imagine old men weakened by age. Their strength faded from their prime due to the cycle of life, aging, sickness, and death. But old can mean different things. Garp is completely different from Whitebeard in the Marineford War 2 years ago. Back then, Whitebeard was 72 years old, a man who once fought Roger evenly, but whose health, strength, and Haki had greatly declined. Despite this, he still showcased the overwhelming power of an emperor. Garp, on the other hand, was 76 years old at Marineford and is now 78, but his physical condition is completely different from Whitebeard's. Garp is still tough, with no sickness or signs of aging, nearly 80 years old, and Garp is still hopping on ships and ready to take on an Emperor's crew, showing just how confident he is in his strength. With his current power, Garp could easily defeat any younger generation who dares underestimate him. That's why, before heading to Marineford to rescue Ace, Whitebeard understood the dangerous situation he was walking into. It was rare for either of them to get involved, only doing so for moments involving Marco, Luffy, or later Blackbeard. In conclusion, Garp still has enough power to fight an emperor today. A man who once fought Roger one-on-one surely possesses haki at the highest level. A man who took on Rocks, the captain of the world's strongest pirate crew, has no reason to fear the newer generation. Kidnap his beloved student, he'll punch you. Rescue his adopted grandson, he'll punch you. Though this kind of punching feels a bit off somehow. And that's our analysis and discussion on the true strength of Vice Admiral Garp. What do you guys think will happen in the battle at Hachinosu Island? Is this just a power showcase for Garp and then everyone goes their separate ways once their goals are met? That's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and share with One Piece Nerd. See you next time. Bye bye.